Well, I would like to welcome all of you. And Arab News would like always to host some our friends, politicians, businessmen, intellectual. We believe that newspaper is just not to report the news. It has to be part of the dialogue. It has to create a dialogue. And this is one of the duties for any publication. As you know that now we talk about Brexit and the consequences of this. And in the GCC in Saudi Arabia, we have a very close relation with Europe, with the UK, and we slept. It was one night we slept. It was one unit, and we woke up. We found two.
We all went to sleep that way.
So it was something that, of course, there are some consequences will come as a result of this.
Brexit means Brexit. You know, we've got to respect the will of the people that voted in the referendum. However, what she was very clear about as well was that we are going to make a success of this. What we can't tell you is what it will look like on the other side at the end of the negotiations. Our economy and the fundamentals of the British economy are very strong. In terms of the growth, in terms of G7 and G20, we are in the top 2 or top 5. So all the principles, the fundamental basics of having a strong economy to take forward through this period of uncertainty are there.
There is a point on which I agree completely with my colleague and colleague, but
sitting very close.
That we have to make this period of uncertainty as short as possible. The problem for economies and for businesses is the uncertainty. So we have insisted since the vote of the Brexit in the UK on the necessity to open the negotiations as quick as possible to have a definition of the rules of the game. But in our view, Great Britain remains a European country. Great Britain remains a big partner. It's one of our biggest partners economically for France. And we want to define how we shall continue this relation. Our British friends to make their ideas clear on what they want and to open the Article 50 negotiations be the shortest as possible. We know it needs time. We don't want to push for tomorrow. We know it needs time, but we want this time to be used as fast as possible. And then we shall see what are the rules of the game.
Well, what do you think about the future? And do you take it seriously that maybe the EU itself might be something that is related?
I think the problem for Euro is not the Brexit as such, but the problem of the economic crisis as a whole and crisis of some financial crisis in some of the members.
My issue, about banks, I can only answer quoting what the Minister of Finance, our Minister of Finance, Carlo Padoan, just said at the G20, where actually also Saudi Arabia was part, that there is no systemic problem of Italian banks. There are some individual problems of individual banks that actually are being reabsorbed by the market, already addressed by the market itself, without a need of rescues and you see government interference. So there's not a systemic problem about it. And actually it is not an outcome of the Brexit. This is important to say. That was a problem that was there before. And actually what we are asking to observers is to look at the trend. It was a problem that was there before, after the financial crisis. And now the trend and the Italian banks are getting stronger, not weaker.
We believe in the fundamentals of the UK, they are very strong, but again, you cannot move forward by looking backward. Because this is new era, we have to see what they're going to do, and especially are they going to welcome the new investors?
They have to leave, and the British who are living in other countries, they have to leave. So I don't know when it will be.
That's not coming from us, and that's not coming from our European colleagues. So who's coming up with that? Maybe it's the media, I don't know.
See the rights of the people that are, European people that are residents there and British people residents in the EU. And they are trying to reassure, in every case, to reassure about, at least the rights of the people, European people that are already resident there.
Europe, including Great Britain, which is a European country anyway, is a place of rule of law. So established rights, established people, they will have a system to keep their rights.
Well, first of all, what's very surprising there, outside of the UK, since the Brexit, markets haven't been volatile after the initial few days. Markets are higher, stock markets are much higher, asset prices are higher. So you've got to put it into context. You've got UK real estate and sterling on one side, and that's taken the brunt of the initial reaction. But in markets in general, they've been positive. Why is that? You look at it, and when you look at markets, you look at it in a number of ways. You look at one, the economic impact, two, the financial leverage impact. Economic impact is minimal in terms of percentage exposure to GDP. Secondly, the financial market leverage exposure to the UK market is absolutely minimal as well. And that's where you get a response like we did, not the initial days, but after that you get realization of what it actually is. And we're in an unknown at the moment.
Firstly, 52% of the leave campaigns facing 48% for the stay. So it's not really like 75-25% where you can say the majority want to leave. So this is unfair to the ones who want to stay. The ones who voted leave are the elderly people, and the ones the young generation who are the producing workforce will get stuck with that decision.
That's an important point. Yeah.
Thirdly, the two leading politicians, Nigel Farage and Boris Johnson, who were waving the Leave campaign, quit politics. Okay, Boris Johnson now, he's your boss and he's the head of the foreign ministry.
Quit politics? Sorry, we're not going to quit politics. He quit the leadership race.
His minister.
Yeah, but
His minister, his foreign minister now.
Yeah.
He didn't quit, he quit the race. Now this, of course, is an internal conservative
But does that,
party.
anyway, to answer your question, definitely there are positive outcome of this Brexit, i.e. weaker pound will encourage residential buyers to now explore opportunities in the market. Obviously there are cheaper real estate targets in the UK, mainly in London, than before. Furthermore, tax is gonna be changed, maybe from 20% to 15%. Even the stamp duty will be also modified in the interest of those buyers.
Move from London to Paris.
Paris, yeah.
Because they were in London to attack the European market. To attack European markets, it needs to be Europe. Okay. But they will need to remain on the British market. So let's be cautious about what we see for the future, both for our British colleagues and for European colleagues, is to work so that Europe as a whole, London and Frankfurt and Milano and Paris remain a financial center for the world. And it doesn't go to Tokyo or to other places.
The only clear indicator that we've really had that we can read between the lines in terms of why people voted this way in the referendum, and I think our Prime Minister has said it, is that it was a clear indicator that people want controls on the number of Europeans coming into the UK. I think that's the clear indicator. Everything else, I think, again, is speculation.
Don't forget, Paris is the first destination for touristic destination in the world, including for British people.
Paris.
Think about it.
Yeah. By the way, I'm not worried about the UK Brexit. I'm worried about the Brexit, not the Brexit, the French Brexit after the French election next year, and the German as well. So we have two coming up elections next year.
Yeah.
And we might see another,
And there is another referendum coming there in October, but this is about constitutional change. So I don't know whether it will have any impact.
Yeah, if I may, my opinion, this is a not zero-sum game. It's not someone that is going to take it all, or Paris, or in spite of London, and there is no competition even among the EU states. I mean, there is no competition between London and Paris, or London and Milan, but there should be no competition also among the European states. You see, this is not. You see, it's not that each European country has to deal with the UK for having a EU trade trade agreement. But a trade is a competence of the European Union. So it will be the Commission dealing with that. So there will be no competition among European member states. There will be agreement among European member states that will give a mandate to the European Commission to deal with that. Of course, in the negotiation, there will be no cherry picking. Okay, we like the common market, so we stay in the common market. We don't like the Italians or the Polish, so bye-bye to the Italian Polish. No.
We all love the Italians.
No, Italians, of course, especially the women. Yeah. No.
No comments. No comments.
Italians, of course. No, I'm joking. Just to say that will be no cherry picking. So there will be all under negotiation. There will be a balanced negotiation to have to be able, for sure, they will be able. I think that maybe, I mean, they will not be just changed out of the common market, but everyone will need to compromise.
But now we want more people to listen to our demands, to listen to our voice, to listen to this. Not necessarily accept everything we say, but at least we have dialogue, at least we bridge the gap. And that gap is not just should be bridged between the governments, between the business and the people. We need that.
For them to go and study in
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there will be a major shift in going to the UK versus other countries because, first of all, the language factor is very important, Secondly, UK has its very strong academic institutions. Thirdly, I think the most encouraging factor now, the new one post the Brexit issue, is the weaker pound. So it will be cheaper for students to live and conduct their lifestyle while they are studying there.
So the main impact on the global markets is very, very minimal. I think to work out the winners and losers is still a very difficult game. I know we talked about Paris and being France, but France has its own issues, labour union laws, labour laws changes, reform of the labour laws. So there's an issue within Europe as well of where does capital flow move. It's not an easy equation.
We have event in Riyadh after summer, and we'd like to invite all of you to be part of it. I think on behalf of Arab News, I would like to thank you and appreciate your time, and we hope to see you again.